As you can see, I haven't been keeping my end of the bargain, and you guys all have been begging and asking where's the weekly AUs, and I'm here to take full accountability because I miss these videos too. Life's been kicking my booty, but if you want any other updates on my life and what's going on with these uploads or anything like that, just go to my Instagram, look at my stories every day. So don't worry, I am back now. I know people have been asking me to do other videos on top of the AUs, which I am doing and working on right now. And to say I'm sorry, I guarantee a video every Monday and Thursday for now on. Now it's time to dive into this evil, tarnished world of this Steven Universe AU. The timeline of a show that's a colorful, emotional adventure about love, identity, and fighting for what's right. Like the usual AUs I cover, goes down a darker path, changing the future for the beloved characters we know for the worse. The story starts off by describing White Diamond as a beautiful creature who was a pleasure to her people until one day she was found guilty of something unknown and was banished from the heavens because she was seeking more power. Now, right off the back, this is way different from the backstory we got for White Diamond in the show. Those watching who've watched Steven Universe before know that she's from Homeworld. We'll get more into that in a moment, but to get back to the story, they also said that she was forced to give up everything. She truly was a fool. And as you can see, she's being sent down from the heavens, falling through space. And it says as she fell from the heavens, she danced her way down onto a lone planet, where she wandered looking for anyone. And as she did this, it would turn from months to years. And soon enough, she would get tired. From top to bottom, nobody was on this planet but her. So she thought it'd be better to just rot away. Until eventually, out of nowhere, her powers came and she created a flower. And it says that she quickly adapted to the planet where she became interconnected with its core, learning how to create life out of nothing. Yup, she was a beautiful creature. And that beauty soon turned into power. She was so strong she controlled the planet as if she was a part of it. Now from this image, it looks like she's the creator of Homeworld. And in the show, she's theorized by fans to have emerged from the planet of Homeworld after she was created in the core and is the one keeping it together for years. She's also known as being the mother of all gems, being the creator and leader. Next, this is when the story starts to get a little weird because the day that she fully mastered her power, she wanted to make beings equal to her power, and she had interconnected with the planet, forming branches on her head. And with her power getting weaker every time, she created Blue Diamond, Yellow Diamond, and last but not least, Pink. Now you're probably like, ew, Ty, why do they look like that? Well, first of all, White Diamond doesn't look like her show counterpart and looks more like a human because the idea of not being from Earth looking unusually human is more scarier than people think. And the reason why yellow looks like an insect, blue looks like a deep sea creature, and pink looks like a flower is because the branches on White Diamond's head allowed her to basically become one with the planet. So whatever she created took on the forms of what Homeworld, the planet, could produce. So starting off with Yellow Diamond, who's a military leader who values strength and order. When they're first created in this AU, they have 2 large horns, no face, and 4 legs. In their second form, their legs are now hands and their bodies more refined. They even have a face now with 4 eyes and sharp teeth. And call me crazy, but kinda resemble the praying mantis. Which honestly makes sense if you ask me, because this is the yellow gem, a military leader that focuses on conquest, and what other insect could you be who picks a battle with snakes, scorpions, and lizards? Blue Diamond in their first form honestly looks the scariest. As you may know, they resemble a jellyfish with their mouth being all the way down there, their eyes hanging from under whatever their head is called, And then by their second form, I don't know if they get better or worse. They now have a cloak, with their hands being all the way located at the bottom of it, with their mouth no longer being in their bottom area, with it now being called the entryway to true form. And if we check up top, it says that this is their decoy head and their eyes and mouth don't work, which lets us know that this form is meant to trick their opponent or victim. Basically, you'll be looking up where you think their face is, but the whole time, the real monster is in the middle. And this is their second form without the cloak. Completely horrendous. This is their true form with 2 layers of teeth and another set of teeth on their other head, which of course is accompanied by their hands and multiple eyes. Blue Diamond kinda reminds me of the deep sea anglerfish, which is one of the rarest creatures in the world. Now on a lighter note, there's Pink Diamond, and in her first form, she looks pretty decently to look at and resembles a rose. Which if you watch Steven Universe, you gotta admit that is pretty clever of the creator, as in Steven Universe, rose quartz. Then in her second form, she looks like she's about to go to the Met Gala, and only looks this way mainly because she's already encountered humans, which lets us know that she's going to go down the same route that she did before, revolting against her diamond sisters. Now, like I said before, White Diamond started out as a fallen angel. She had small branches on her head, and as she became one with the planets, those branches branched out. And each time after a diamond was created, she would become visibly weaker and weaker, looking more eerie every time. It got to the point where after Pink was made, she died. So before she died, she was newly known as the Tree of Life for centuries, and as she created the other diamonds and became closer and closer to death every time she did so, one could ask, why would she even do this? But the purpose of this was actually just to make more life. She wanted all 3 of them to go around creating more life and was willing to sacrifice herself to do so. But that doesn't mean she was a nice person. She was described as an emotionless husk, and honestly, you can see it in her face. She wanted her diamonds to fulfill her legacy, take over planets, and create more diamonds. If you're not diamond, you're dying. And after White Diamond's death, Pink, who's the opposite of White Diamond, didn't agree with anything, so they went to war with their sisters. A similar thing happened within the show, but the only difference is, this time there aren't 3 diamonds going against Pink. So the fight was way closer and actually was going in more of Pink's favor. Which brings us to a form that I was keeping from you guys, the third form of all of the sisters. Pink Diamond's third form looks very human-like because of course she's been living with humans. Now remember when I said White Diamond was the Tree of Life and created her powerful diamond children? Well, as they were getting pushed back in a corner with their mother gone but her corpse still around, they decided to do the unthinkable and eat her corpse. They devoured it, blood getting all over their face, guts and all. And the crazy thing about all of this, it didn't work. They had false hope. By eating their mother's corpse, they thought they could get more of her power, but there was nothing left of it after she created Pink, so it didn't do anything, therefore not helping them in the war and resulting in their loss. Which brings us to their third form, where they are more human-like in respect of Pink. Now you're probably thinking, why all of a sudden would they just be fine with the humans after centuries of knowing in their mind like their purpose is to take over planets and create more diamond life? Well, it turns out after Pink and the humans won the war, they were given Earth by the diamonds, but the diamonds and her sisters really didn't approve of any of it, and after trying to convince them multiple times and failing, she eventually faked her death, which actually made them finally come around and also honor their sister. Which brings us to her final form of this AU, where it looks really good and very similar to the show. Make sure to subscribe, of course, and like this video for more AUs, and put down in the comments which one I should cover next. I don't know which one was the most horrifying diamond to you, but keep in mind these diamonds are also as tall as buildings. God bless all of you people.